Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's get this thing started, shall we? Let's get this thing started. All clean and ready to go. Super tired, just you know how it is. But I thought what we'd do is I thought we'd do a little bit of a sports stream where we can yap about some things. These 100 games define modern. Hey, this article actually interests the hell out of me. The 100 most influential college football games. Like, yeah, that makes sense because, like, yeah, no two college football games are built the same. None of them are. Like, there's differences and there's levels to it. Anyways, what else we got here? We got music. I think we got music. Yeah, we got music. Okay, the mic's not muted. Sweet. Sweet. All right, people. Let's actually, you know what? Hell, let's woo! Let's start it off. Sorry, my hair's a mess. But let's start it off with and let's make sure there's no ad playing. Sound. Okay. All right, let's get into it. All right. Are these number ones and number two, number three, number five, and then does it go all the way down? 94, 100, and then that's it. Yeah, this one. I know about this one. Or was sitting right there. All right. Okay. Oh, no spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers. I'm already spoiling it. Shit. I already know for a fact. I already know for a fact. You're gonna have let's actually, in fact, let's see if we gotta fix it. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Sorry, little doggo. We gotta put you in the middle. There we go. Um we're gonna do I already know for a fact you gotta have some games like 100 most influential games. You're gonna have to have the Cotton Bowl. No, not the Cotton Bowl. My bad. The Rose Bowl, like Texas USC. You're gonna have something in there. You're gonna have the Iron Bowl. You're probably gonna have a lot of Iron Bowls in there. Um, Maybe just because of how early and recent. Yeah, a little bit of recency bias. You're probably gonna have some Indiana games sprinkled in there. You're definitely gonna have a Cam Newton game or two in there. You're probably gonna have when Alabama lost to Manziel, so a lot of Nick Saban games. Probably some. I mean, you're probably gonna have the Flutie play in there. Who else? Who else? I'm trying to think. What are some other classic football moments? I mean, probably Michigan game. Like, you know, the one where like Ohio State came in and they tried to like tear down the tarp and stuff, the banner at Michigan. I think that was the same game where like Des Howard like struck the Heisman pose. You're probably gonna have something like that. You're gonna have a lot of Rose Bowls in here. A lot of national championships. Um, Remember when Penn State beat Ohio State in 2016? I'd put that game in there for stats sake because ESPN's been talking about it more than once the last handful of weeks. The Mahomes game with Baker Mayfield when they both threw for over like 500 or 600 yards. That's probably going to be in here, but that's a stretch. That's super stretch. Um, they're probably going to put that Georgia Tech game in here where they won like 220 to nothing. You could probably have that game in there. What else? Yeah, a lot of Auburn games with Cam Newton. Um, Probably the Sugar Bowl with Ohio State and Alabama, maybe. I don't know, but anyways, without any further ado, enough of me yapping. Let's get into it. So there's Legends. Hold on. Innovation. Legends Innovation Bowls for better or for worse. Oh my gosh, of course that's in here. Trigger warning. I hated that game. I loved that game, but I hated it at the same time. Of course this would be in there, and of course this game would be in there. Bowl games for better for worse, and then what else? The siren song of television. Oh, so then we're probably gonna have like, oh, the band is on the field. Realignment. Yikes. Oh, don't put that game in there. Another. Oh, classic ending. See, look, bands on the field. Yeah, of course, of course. And then anything else? Classic ending. Okay, all right, that's it. All right, enough of me yapping. Let's see how many of these games that I know of. All right, this is strictly ball, not lying. Um, let's get into it. No clue. No clue. 1924. No clue. Again, no clue. 24 Notre Dame, 13 Army, 7. No clue. These games that are almost damn near 100 years old. No clue. 46. Oh my gosh. Number 2 Notre Dame 0. Number 1 Army 0. A sold out Yankee Stadium hosted maybe the most anticipated game ever. Because yeah, when are we ever going to get a number 2 Notre Dame and a number 1 Army? When? That's never going to happen. Not in the modern landscape of college football. Never. Never. A sold out Yankee Stadium hosted maybe the most anticipated game ever. Frank Leahy had built the war chest of his own. Notre Dame would go 36-0-2 from. Oh, that's pretty. But Army still had Blanchard, Davis, and Co. and entered a 25-game win streak. The game was a stalemate, which basically meant it was treated as a win for the Irish. I think the biggest shame here, though, is they let it end in a tie. Games should not end in a tie, period, end of story. There should be a winner and there should be a loser. All right, Ohio State and UCLA. In less than a decade, we'll celebrate 100th birthday of the Heisman Trophy. Oh, yeah, no clue. All right, number 1980, Herschel Walker. Sorry, my bad. He's running over people. Oh, Herschel Walker, my God almighty. He ran through 2 men. Herschel ran over 2 men. Yep, I kind of know the highlights of this game, but no, I haven't seen this game. I do know the highlights of this game, the Fiesta Bowl, because you wonder, wait, Nebraska was good? How the hell was Nebraska ever good? And then you go look, and it's like, yeah, there have been times where Nebraska's been super good. There's been times where Arizona State has been super good. South Carolina as well, where it's like, oh my, huh? All right, here we go. Virginia Tech too. Yeah, Virginia Tech had like 2 years, like a year or two with Vic, where they were pretty good. And this is also still technically in the era of, I will, as much as there are some things in modern college football where I roll my eyes and go, okay, whatever. At least now there are like set out, no, this is the national championship versus years ago, like all these half championships, shared championships, or like, because I'm looking at Michigan has a half championship. I believe Iowa has a half championship. BYU as well, where it's like, yes, you played the biggest bowl game you could get to that year and you were victors, but it's like, there's parts of me that were glad because I believe like the first national championship that was like, because it was a whole BCS system and there was a system to it, and they didn't always put the 2 best teams to play each other. And like some years it's like, hey, the national championship's going to be at the Orange Bowl. Some years it's going to be at the Fiesta Bowl. Some years it's going to be at the Rose Bowl. And it's like they just picked and choose. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. All right, anyways, I don't know anything about this game. Is that prime time? Who? Oh, no. 2005, number 1 USC versus number 16 Fresno State. I have no clue about this game. All I see is Bush. Who shaved your Bush? There we go. Bush, Liner, and White versus Vince Young. Maybe the most legendary game of the 21st century. There it is. In the corner, he's got it. All right. 2010. Okay, now we're getting into my era-ish of, yep, Auburn trailing, defending national champs, 24-0 in Tuscaloosa. Cam Newton led the comeback, throwing for a touchdown pass and rushing for a 4th, while Auburn allowed 60 in the second half and solidified a win. Innovation. From the legalization of the forward pass to the pro. So what was this category? Legends. Oh, okay. Oh, Archie. Oh, Archie Griffin. Oh, okay. Okay. It's like Legends of the Game. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's, Mike Vick. Anyways, Reggie Bush, Cam Newton. Okay. From the legalization of the forward pass to the oh shit, I can read here, proliferation of run pass option, the way teams try to score points and the way opponents try to stop them has changed significantly through the years. Here are 13 games that document that changed pretty well. Yeah, to see where it's like, yeah, no, downfield passes. Nope, those weren't a thing. Ground and pound, baby. Um, yeah, 41, 1906. Dude, no, no. That's back when Chicago was still a college. 68, yeah, no. 88, yeah, no. Oh my gosh. Look at the pirate, dude. Yeah, no clue. Yeah, no clue. 97, 2000. Yeah, no clue. 2007. Yeah, no clue. I only know this because of just like the significant of it, where it's like, oh shit, maybe Texas is some choke artists. No, but just like the, yeah, just how much of a clutch play it was. I believe Leach was still the 4 verts and 3 field stormings. I believe Coach Leach was this guy. I believe he was the head coach when this happened. I don't know. 2010, Nevada against Boise State. Ain't nobody watching. Oh, see? Here we go. Here's a Rose Bowl. This is JJ Watt. I believe JJ Watt's in this Rose Bowl somewhere. And Andy Dalton, if I'm not mistaken, too, because 2011 with TCU, I believe that's Andy Dalton as well. There we go. As the farther we get from this game, yes, it's the national championship, and it's you completing a perfect season, going 15-0. LSU had so many better games that year. Like the championship was close for like the first quarter and a half ish, maybe into the second quarter, but then it did start to get into a throttle where, oh my gosh, they're blowing them out. And Clemson, if I'm not mistaken, didn't get going till late in that game too. Where, yeah, is that how it went, or was it something like? Because like if you look at when Bama and Georgia played each other in the national championship, that game did not get going until the fourth quarter. Not the 2018 one, the 22 one, where it's like 9-6 or something headed into the third quarter, and then like you look at the final score and it's like, how the hell was it 40 something to 30 something? And it's because of the 6 or 7 possessions that happened in the fourth quarter, all of them were touchdowns or pick six. All right, Bulls for better or for worse, yeah. But then this talks about Burra, Joe Burra. Mm-hmm. We have so many here. What the 26 through 28? Bowls for better for worse. With teams rarely traveling outside their conference footprint with a regular season television exposure limit, bowls were nearly the only time in season when you might see the best players and teams compete against one another. They clung to their relevance and power broker status for decades, fending off growing discontent about an absence of a playoff, but they couldn't hold on forever. Excuse me. Oh my 20, I don't care about the 20s or the 60s. Yeah, no, yeah, the Sugar Bowl. I don't remember the Sugar Bowl back in the 90s. 99, 2001. Hey, how you doing, Nixon? How you doing? You coaching up these boys good, coach? Your tournament into ball players, I see. Declares Texas the national champions after the Longhorns defeat Arkansas. Arkansas. There's no way in hell Arkansas would get to a national champion nowadays. Here's the other fun thing about like football at the time. Yes, it looks like a time machine because look at the pads, look how clunky the pads are. But like you're hearing teams like Navy, Army, yes, a little bit of Notre Dame, Arkansas, Minnesota, because I know Minnesota's a team that has won a national championship, but it's been a long freaking time. And it's like, how the hell did these teams, like Indiana, for example, they broke a record that was over 100 years old, and it was because they went 16-0, 17-0, something like that. And the last team to do it was Rice, if I'm not mistaken. Like one of those teams, like I can't remember. But like you look back at the day, like you would see a team like, yes, Nebraska or Arkansas, where it's like, no, there's no way they'd actually ever be good. But then like you'd look through the history of college football over 100 years, and I was like, no, there was a little, like a little section, a little chunk right there. Anyways, like for example, I, as a Sooners fan, have never seen Oklahoma be successful in regards to like championships. Like my whole life, all it's been is Nick Saban and Bama. That's it. Well, and you know, you got to sprinkle in some Dabo and Clemson, LSU, Florida State. But yeah, now the more new modern era of like, oh, let's throw an Indiana in there. Let's throw Michigan in there. Like to see Michigan actually turn it around. Because, like, yeah, I remember watching all of those Michigan games where they lost to Ohio State. What was it, 9 straight, something like that? And, like, that one year that they beat them, it's like, holy shit, they're back. All right, anyways, moving on. 2004. 2008. Yeah, I don't remember any of that. Oklahoma, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. 2012, January 9th. Number 2 Alabama, number 1 LSU. This game here's my only gripe about this national championship. It was boring in the sense of how dominant Alabama's defense was, where LSU did not cross the 50. I think they only crossed the 50 once. Like it was, and this was also the era where when LSU and Bama played, like it would be low scoring, 6-0, 9-0. Like there were 3 or 4 years where it was super weird, where it was low scoring games because both defenses were super good. All right, and now here we have a trigger warning of the double OT thriller against Georgia. This is such a good game. I remember exactly where I was when this game happened. Fun fact, here we go. Let's get into it. I was watching the first half and they were up and they were winning, and then I was like, all right, they're winning. They're up by like who knows how much. They were up by a lot. They were up by a freaking lot. And I was like, all right, game's over. And I went to go watch a movie because I was at the movies. I was seeing Jumanji. And then I came out of the theater and they lost. And I was like, son of a gun. Just because Georgia had that comeback. And I think Oklahoma then blew their own record. Because I think their Alabama loss was more points, if I'm not mistaken. And it was at home in Norman. So it's like, yikes. All right, I got that queued up and ready to go. We're gaming. We're going to game a little later after I get through this list. And we'll circle around the sports in the world. Because there's something that happened. There's been buzzings about like LeBron and stuff, and we'll go over it. All right. 2023, Florida State and Louisville. No, this is not an impactful game. Liar. Yes. The injury. Yes. Boo. Boo for you putting... Like, yes, it was an impactful game, but it really showed because people still to this day are like, oh, Florida State got robbed, which I agree. They did get robbed because if Jordan Travis doesn't get injured, they're with how teams. Okay, who was Bama was the 4. Bama was the 4. Bama was the 4, Texas was the 3, Washington was the 2, and Michigan was the 1. Michigan was in. Washington was in. Those were set in stone. Bama. Bama was in set in stone. Mark my words. If Florida State was healthy, they would have bumped Texas out, no problem, and been like, oh, sorry, Texas, and then just bumped them out. Because we had seen that before in the past of teams that had been deserving to get into the college football playoff, but not make it. And because the other team that deserved to go, mind you, because they went 3 straight years, 3 straight seasons without losing until the SEC title game, Georgia also deserved a spot in that college football playoff. And I think it's kind of a catalysm, if that's the word that I'm trying to use, like where it comes to a whole of like a synopsis. I'm also thinking of the word Horcrux. I don't know why. Hello, Harry Potter fans. If you're a Harry Potter fan, hit that like and sub. But where the everything that was wrong in college football and everything that was wrong with a college football playoff showed its ugly face in just that selection committee alone. And it reared its ugly head because they had kind of talked about like, yeah, like significant injury matter. Like if we reduced it back to the 14 playoff, for example, Ole Miss isn't even sniffing the college football playoff because they would notice, oh, your head coach is gone. Sorry, team that won 11 games and could have been in the SEC title. Have fun in the Orange Bowl or something like that. Like, but I think it was fair that they stressed it enough that, you know, hey, if one of your star players is injured, you're not going. Because in turn, like for example, but it was the 12 team because there was the stretch that they were trying to make because Carson Beck hurt his elbow, and they were like, Georgia shouldn't be in, and it's like, well, it's the 12 team. They're gonna let Georgia in, even though he's injured. But like, I think I think the product on the field is what kept him out, but then also with the injury. Because the other thing too is if what Florida State did, and I did make a video on this, but I can't remember all the plot points that I made. But if Florida State would have played solid football, because he got injured week 10, week 11. He got injured in the game, in the filler game before the rivalry game. Because, like, if you're a Bama fan, you know, you play Mercer or somebody. You play a small school before your Iron Bowl game. And so it was like that week 10, week 11 matchup. And, you know, he gets injured. But then there were like 2 or 3 games after that where for the remainder of that game that he got injured in, they played pretty bad. Which, don't blame their star quarterback injured. But then the next week they played bad. The Florida game they played bad. And then the ACC championship game they played bad. Like the defense was solid. I mean, look, 6 points. They only gave up 6 points, but their offense could not do anything. And I think because of that is why the committee did not let them in. Because they probably for a split second they were like, all right, let's hear them out. Let's see how Florida State does. Because I did compare it to Ohio State because the same thing happened with Ohio State. Miller went down, JT Barrett went down, and then Cardale Jones stepped in. But like the thing is, Ohio State beat the shit out of Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game. And plus, it's also the first year of the college playoff where you can work out the kinks and stuff. But like, I think if Florida State would have kept blowing teams out like they did all year, they would have been in. They would have put Texas out, and so then Florida State would have played Washington. Florida State would have rolled them, and then it would have been Michigan, Florida State. And I have a feeling Florida State could have won that game because, like, you compare and you watch every other team that year, like Florida State was dominant, and they just took care of business. They were a solid team, and then they got injured, so it is what it is. And then, because then the other side of that coin is the Orange Bowl, where they're like, see, yeah, they shouldn't have even let him in. And then it's like, well, majority of your starters declared for the draft And then Georgia's playing their first string guys who are with them all season, which, by the way, they probably feel some type of way too, because they went like what 30-1 in 3 years, where two back-to-back national champions went all the way undefeated, lost to Saban and the Tide in what was it, overtime or something like that to Milroe and the boys. So they would definitely feel some type of way. And so then they paired them up. Georgia had their starters. Florida State had their third string, and then it just was an ass kicking. And even Kirby Smart called out college football and was like, "This was a waste of time. This was," because he knew exactly what was going to happen. Because I mean, it goes hand in hand. It's where college football is now versus the portal, where there was about 3 or 4 bowl seasons where bowls were unwatchable because the star players would sit out and declare for the draft early or something. And it's like, wow, this Missouri Ohio State bowl game could have been super fun to watch, but man, it ended up being boring because it's third and fourth string guys in there. So, anyways, wow, that is a lot to say for just this nonsense here. I was watching this game and I jinxed Drew Aller by saying, "Man, hope he doesn't throw an interception," and he throws a pick like 3 seconds later. Huge game for Notre Dame. This was a fun game to watch. Then you also have the Jeremiah Love touchdown, where he's putting his hand in the dirt and breaking tackles. And this is when Notre Dame also started to go on their run too, because nobody saw them getting past Penn State. Like, there was this hype around Penn State, and it's like, relax. You guys beat Boise State, who probably shouldn't have been. Boise State deserved to be there, but to be a top 4 team, no. Which I like how they've kind of retweaked the format, because a MAC team, if a MAC team goes 12-0 and wins their conference title, but like a MAC team, a Mountain West team, hell, even an ACC team should not be in the top 4. They just shouldn't. Who else? Like a Pac-12 team, like for example, Washington State. Unless Washington State is dominating their opponents, Washington State should be nowhere near the top 4. Put them at that 5 seed, 5-12. There you go. You get that little, secret, there you go. There's our little handoff to you. Because, like, that's the other thing, too, that I think is funny that has aged terribly is people think the 5 seed is like the personal yearly annual invitation to Notre Dame of like, you don't have a conference, but you can come here. It should come down to records at the end of the day, anyways. And the importance of conference championships should still matter, and it should still hold on. Where if you lose this game, yeah, it could blow your chances to go. Now, when I look at BYU, Alabama, Miami, Texas, Vanderbilt, and last year's situation, truthfully, Bama, after their loss, they probably should have been treated the same way that BYU was, where it's like, no, get out of here. Because you guys had your, week 6 through 10 where you were super dominant, but then you kind of like tailed off there at the end. They kind of should have been treated the same. But truthfully, the other thing is, you look at the remaining teams like Vanderbilt, like Texas, like BYU. Yeah, Bama was a lot better than a lot of these other teams. So it did kind of make sense that they got in, but at the same time, like, nobody's trying to watch or the American Conference, like with Cincinnati that one year. Nobody's trying to watch Cincinnati go get their ass handed to them by a far superior team, because it's not entertaining. It gets to a point where it's kind of sad, where it's like, okay, if you want Bama to win the whole damn thing, just tell us. You know what I mean? Don't have 2 underdog teams go after it. Like, have one underdog team here, yeah. Anyways, all right. Anyways, in the 20s, in the 50s, good old black and white era. Yeah, ain't nobody watching that. People didn't even have TVs back then. 69, nice. Does that say number 12, like Tom Brady? Yeah, Tom Brady was playing in the 60s. Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah. Mississippi State. Yeah, look at that. 6 points. Alabama 3 points. Like, oh my gosh. 84. 99. Oh, it was only a matter of time. There's the upset. Rarely, rarely do we have Boise State situations like this. Rarely. Because that's what people were talking about leading up to the Penn State game. They're like, oh, trust. Boise State could upset Penn State. And it's like, look, Gene T's good, but like, that's Boise State's identity. If they put 7 in the box and make Boise State have to pass, this game's over, which is exactly what happened. Appalachian State. Yep, everybody remembers this one. I don't remember this one. I don't know about this one. This one was pretty cool. If this one's on here, when Tennessee beat Bama, it should be on here. The sport can still always frustrate. Close calls, unsatisfying endings, presidential interference, without even getting into all the ways that millionaire boosters and message board conspiracy theorists add a steady dose of drama. Say less, let me get into it. And steady dose of drama to all that goes on. And don't even get us started on conference realignment. That section's a little bit further down. The sport can drive us absolute batshit crazy sometimes. Well, we have shit in the 60s, so it doesn't matter. And again, there's Nixon. And we have 88, 90, first and goal. Okay, I don't even know. 91, 97, Colorado, Notre Dame, Nebraska, Missouri, Ohio State, Miami. Yep, everybody knows about this one. Everybody knows about this one. And then 2016, Ohio State over Michigan. Yes. JT Barrett was short, dude. He was short by a yard, but they gave it to him. And it's like, yeah, okay. All right, man. At least that's my take. I mean, after all, I did watch the game. The siren song of television. Fans of virtually every sport event in the world will spend hours telling you all the ways that television has ruined their game of choice. I personally enjoy the fact that I can watch almost literally any game I want on any given Sunday, but TV has certainly impacted the direction of the sport, especially as it pertains to conference realignment at this point, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Again, we're still in the 70s. 84. Okay, cool, whatever. 92. Is that Spurrier? Holy shit, that is Steve Spurrier. Jeez, Gromit. Okay, no. Anyways, that was rude. All right, 93, Notre Dame, Florida State. I don't even know. 99, Marshall in Toledo. Oh, was Randy Moss playing in this one? That I would only guess that because of Marshall. Marshall alone. Okay, 2011. Virginia Tech and Miami. Yes, Enter Sandman. The Enter Sandman game. All right. Texas A&M and number 9 South Carolina. South Carolina was ranked number 9? Damn. All right. Realignment. All right, 94, 95, Penn State, Michigan, Virginia, Florida, Houston, and Rice. Texas A&M and Alabama. There you go. Johnny Football. Oh, and then this game. Yeah, I remember this game. I remember this game a lot. Because Oklahoma could have won it. And I think this is just me. Even with the realignments and all that shit, you should still be playing your rival school. You still should. There's no excuse not to. And then right after they lost this game, Lincoln Riley was like, I'm not, I'm focused on the team right now. I'm not focused on leaving. And he leaves like 48 hours later. And it's like, and he takes Caleb Williams with him. And it's like, yeah, you butts. USC and Rutgers. Ain't nobody watched that game. 2025, Indiana and Oregon. This game was good, dude. It was a good one. Classic endings, no matter how hard it seems, like you're trying sometimes throughout conference realignment. Like a lateral fest that ends in a smashed trombone. Oh, the All right. Oh yeah, when Colorado beat Michigan. Yeah, I know about this one. Yep, we know about this one. The Hail Mary against Kentucky. Yep, we know about that one. Um, Prayer at Jordan Airman. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like that Auburn year was fucking crazy, dude. Because there's the Iron Bowl, and then there is the when they beat Georgia barely. Like it was just freaking crazy. And then you got this trouble with the snap, scoop and score. That because of this game too, this is the game that got Michigan State into the Big Ten championship game because then from there they beat Iowa and they got to go. They had the privilege to go get their ass then kicked in the Cotton Bowl to Alabama. Because either way, either if it was Iowa or Michigan State, they're both going to get their ass kicked by Bama. Bama was not messing around that year. Bama also Bama also lost to Clemson that year too. So, Miami Duke. Is this the lateral? Is this the Woo Pig Sooie play? No, that should be no. This is no Woo Pig Sooie is Arkansas Tennessee, I think. Yes, the Central Michigan game. The last second touchdown, Romeo Dobbs, I believe threw that one. 2018 Alabama. Yes, yes. One of the greatest games ever. Talk about low in overtime. And then the Ohio State Georgia game. This one was a good one too, because wasn't I can't remember one of the teams. I don't know if it was. I think it was Ohio State. Ohio State was getting blown out by Georgia, and then Georgia just kind of, oh guys, let's let them back in the game. And then it was like, oh shit, they could actually win this. And then they missed the kick. Um, yep, fourth and a mile, and then they walk off by Bond. Yep, and then this game that recently happened. Or a smaller national title game that goes to overtime after a block field goal that ends on a fourth and long. I remember seeing this game because I was at a steakhouse and it was playing, and then I was like, huh? Their national championships right now versus D1, where it's like, no, our dude, only time will tell before the Super Bowl and the national championship are sharing a month. I personally think kickoff. I mean, let's pull up the schedule here. Saturday, August 1st. Like, there's parts of me where it's like, if you want the national championship to be at the granddaddy of them all, you gotta have the net. You gotta have week 0. You gotta have week 0 or week 1 be this Saturday and start it in August so that you can play your 12 weeks and then space it out throughout. Like, just move everything forward. Just move everything forward. Um, and then just because my hot take, no, the national championship should not be late into January. It should be first of the year, start of the year, New Year's Day at the Rose Bowl. But that might be too traditionalist. Hell no, not in the era of college football we live in. No. No, we gotta have baseball, that's what we gotta have. Alright, let's get into it. I think Shohei Ohtani got injured. That's the only thing I know about that. Alright, here we go. Let's get into it. I think the NFL. I think the NFL Top 100 list is also somewhat updated. Looked at it. Here's how you know it's the preseason. Are the Cowboys legit Super Bowl contenders? You know, Dano, I'll let you answer that for yourself. I think we all know the answer. What else? I think they can get a deal done too. Which actually we saw. Oh, that's why. Yeah, we got to talk about the Bills uniforms. Freaking dude, the oh my gosh, we just had it, but I lost it. What are we looking at? Vita Vea. Vita Vea has requested a trade from the Bucks, so things are not going well there. What are we looking at? Oh, Bills uniforms. The Sluggos. I mean, I'm sorry, the Nickel City. They're doing the same slug thing that they were doing. This leaked a little bit ago, and like my brain was like, "There's no way in hell they do this." I here's my thing. I like the helmet. The helmet looks fine. I would actually, I would do again. This is just me personally. The outline. Don't zoom in on the bull. Just get the bull's head, and that is it. Do the bull's head and the line, and then have them connect in the back. Um, or if you want to, I don't know if it would be like a little bit of a copyright infringement, but like put bull horns on the actual side of the helmet. Like take the Bills logo and just take the horn and like just put a horn on the side. Kind of like the Vikings, but not. Hold on. Bull bullhorn helmet. Let me kind of bullhorns helmet design and football helmet. Bullhorn. Ah, booyah, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Wouldn't that like you can go with wouldn't that which again it's kind of yeah, it's very much copying Houston. But like put your own little spin on it, which Texas needs to do this. They need to, you know, they need to let them drop a little and they need to mix it up a little bit. Same with well, actually, same with Bama too. I've been thinking about it a little more. I would not mind seeing Bama's white helmets because I think Saban made it a point of like, no, we're not doing the white helmets. Now that he's not there, it's like, sure, why the hell not? And if you think it's too much of a copyright infringement to do the horns on the side like the Texans, have it be from the top like the Eagles or something like that. Like switch it up a little bit because this whole it just I don't know. And then the gray. There's something about the NFL teams where there's an obsession to white out your jerseys, which I think the only teams where it's worked for is the Vikings and the Packers made it work a couple times. The only teams that look all good in white, Cowboys, Miami Dolphins, I'll give that to them. The Vikings when they try it, the Bills when they try it, like their Glacier Blues or whatever they had, put that Glacier Blue on this and then do like the Buffalo Bill face like zoomed in really big and over exaggerated and then put it on the side of the helmet. Those would go real well. The problem is their color is not gray. Gray is not in their jersey color. It's just not. And you want to know another thing? Bring back. Would it hurt to bring back the red helmets and have that kind of be an alternate? Like, there's just so much. Which, do not get me wrong, I'm happy the NFL has started to change its rules on. Yeah, cold front. There it is. These jerseys are nice. They're nice. You put that zoomed in bowl on these jerseys, they look nice. Like these are good. These are good. But like Steelers don't need to do whiteout jerseys. The Bengals whiteouts look pretty good too. Um, but in turn, like some teams can do the blackout real well too. Steelers, Ravens, Bengals. I think the Bengals with a blackout jersey would look nice. Um, they've flirted with it for the Chiefs, but it's like no. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? The Panthers, the Falcons. When the Falcons do a blackout and then a red helmet, it looks nice. Like just yeah, there's this weird because of the new you can have multiple helmets rule, and like wanting to up jersey sales and like sell new jerseys and this and that, because every team since 2020 has gotten a rebrand slightly, except for teams like Cowboys, Eagles, Packers, um, Bears, Chiefs. But like, yeah, everybody's wanting to do, an all white, all black, um, or gray. Like, yeah, even the NFL rivalry jerseys don't. Some of them look good. Like they were joking about calling them the tortilla ones, like the Arizona Cardinal ones of like the sandy desert. Looks good. But I don't know. I take those over these. Like they just. I wonder what the Nickel City. Where does the Nickel City come from? Like what's the story? Gray symbol from charging buffalo logo around the helmet. The team has not yet announced when the new uniform, as tribute to the strength, grit, and authenticity of Western New York hardworking people throughout history. Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a miss for me. It's a miss. We already talked about Vita Vea and him potentially requesting a trade. Um, In fact, let me go look up. Let me go look up like a concept, like online or something. Their ugliest look, their ugliest look was their throwback buffalo helmet. That had the buffalo, the red buffalo on the side. I will admit, I do not like those. Okay, here we go. Okay, 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 okay. Here we go. Here we go. You want to talk about like respecting the sport and stuff? Look, I don't know the 100% accuracy behind this, but it's like if these were kind of like the original Bills uniforms, you could throw those back. Mix a little old with the new. I'm trying to think of. They're all reds. Don't look too bad either. The jerseys, I'll admit, where it's like, no, don't go back to that. The jerseys they wore when Marshawn Lynch played there, no, they didn't look good. They didn't look good. Like, glad they went back to the look that they have now. Or, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. You want to respect the past? Bring these back. Oh my gosh. Or it's like, who's out there, the Giants or the Bills? Bring these back. These would look tight. Which they will. They'll bring them back eventually. Once it goes through the right proper channels of like, oh well, we gotta do this first. We gotta make a little bit of money over here first, and then we can go there. What else? What else? What else? Um, Bills. Oh my gosh! I realized I've been yapping way too long. We're gonna miss out some Fortnite time if I don't hurry. All right. Anyways, back to it. So there's that. Anything going on in the NBA? Oh, did LeBron get traded? I didn't know. Um. Oh, here we go. Yes, it's not gonna show it, but there's been a lot of talk about Steph Curry leaving. I don't see it. I don't see it. They're running it back with the same team. They haven't made any off-season additional pieces. They haven't traded for anybody. They ain't doing nothing. Where the hell did this helmet come from? Look at that. Look at that freaking helmet. That's actually a pretty kind of badass helmet. But yeah, they haven't acquired anybody. They missed out on the LeBron sweepstakes. And so people are talking, because if you go to Kalshi, no. Oh, you know what would look good too? Blue pants, white, and that would look good. Blue flower, red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns. This would be so much easier if I was a colorblind Shrek. So, uh, yeah. Those, the nickel. They ain't it, champ. Ain't it? Same with the gray top New Englands. Don't they don't look. Mm. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Anyways, but yeah, there's been just some talks that Steph Curry is upset with management, and oh, the Warriors ain't competing for crap, and Draymond's like, I'm not gonna go ring chase. I'd rather lose the play-in, because the truth is, the Warriors could literally walk through the regular season and still make the play-in. Like that, and I've said this forever. That is the point of the play-in. That's my personal opinion. Is that like the last few handful of years of like LeBron, KD, Steph, Kawhi, and all of them, where it's like, if they had it available, would they have made the play-in for Kobe in his last handful of seasons? Because you look at the last handful of years with the Lakers, bro, the Lakers stunk. Like, it was going through the Mavs, the Thunder, or the Spurs. Like, that's what the West was over a decade ago, around the same time. And so, just if there was a play-in tournament there, it definitely, yeah, we could have seen the Lakers be the 8th seed or the 7th seed against the Mavericks that year, or something like that. And I think the NBA would have wanted that. But again, the ownership, with what it was back then, didn't, because there's parts of me where it's like, no, there should be no, because it's a two-way street, in the way of like, you should want your guys to play to win and compete to try to get a top 8th seed, versus I'm going to load manage, and then come All-Star weekend realize, oh damn, we could actually make a run for this. Because truthfully, yeah, like mathematically, when you look at it, unless you're the Wizards or the Jazz or the Pacers because you're injured, by All-Star break weekend, you still have a chance to get into the playoffs. Not only as a play-in team, but like an actual, like, oh wow, you got the 6th seed or the 5th seed. Because like, with how close teams stay, your teams like the Cavs or the Pistons or the Thunder or the Spurs, yeah, they're going to pull away from everybody, and they're going to have 10 or 11 games on hand, and they're going to be the best of the best from wire to wire. But then we were looking at it the other day, because the Nuggets were like the 3 seed or something. And by the other day, I mean when the playoffs were right around the corner and about to start. The Nuggets, from the Nuggets to the Warriors, was a 6-game difference, 8-game difference, somewhere in that range, where it's like, yeah, if the Warriors win out this week and stack some wins together, and like, yeah, they have help above them, like the Rockets losing, the T-Wolves losing, the Lakers losing. It's like, look at that. You were the 10th seed, sitting at 30 wins, and then now, oh, look at that. You're the 4th seed, sitting at 38 wins. And it's like, oh, well, look at that, because the West is pretty stacked. But I think he's been loyal to the Warriors, and so I think he will stay with the Warriors. I have said this before. If he does leave, I don't think he's going to ring chase, but you know what? I didn't think Kevin Durant would leave either, and he did, and same with Russ. And so if he does leave, there's parts of me, I see him going the Charlotte route and retiring a Hornet, kind of like his dad, just for that kind of, you know, full circle moment, but like if not that, strictly the Warriors. That's just me. Like I don't see him because here's the other thing that Curry has proven is he doesn't hop teams like LeBron does. And that's something that's kind of like been brought up in conversation lately because again, we haven't seen LeBron switch teams in 8 years, and that's something that everybody's bringing up. Like, oh, when the going gets tough, LeBron hops teams. Look at him joining every, and I don't know. DeRozan, Thompson, and Kuminga names to watch in the post LeBron market. Why? Dude, he wanted out of Golden State. So here's the other funny thing too. If he would have stayed at Golden State, they would have been fine. They'd have been just fine. Same with the Celtics. The same thing is going to happen to the Celtics. The Celtics would have been fine if he stayed, but no. Which I saw a meme too. Hold on, let me go pull it up. I think I have the video. I don't think I can play it because I think it has copyright music on it. Let me go. Let me go double check. Why you being like this? Why you being like this? Here, let me go. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm gonna just double check and make sure it doesn't have any music. I think it does. It's a meme about LeBron. 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 Did I not like it? No. No freaking way. I had to have liked it. Okay, it's got to be on like Ghetto Grunk or something like that. Let's see. Let's go. Or Doe Burrow. Doe Burrow. Doe. Doe. Um, 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 we? We. Uh, nope. Uh, oh, I've seen that meme. Um, let's try. Ghetto. The Ghetto Bronx. Oh, damn it. Dude, this pisses. Oh, this pisses me the hell off. Oh, this pisses me the hell off. It's the meme of hold on, let me just actually just find the meme template and I'll um where is it's the meme of oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yikes. Oh dear. Damn it. Um, it's the meme. Shit, this is gonna bug me. Let's do NFL memes. One more. We'll look at one more. Um, and then we'll call it there because if it's not on NFL memes. Shut the front door. No, boo. Did LeBron sign with before or after the World Cup? Oh shit. Damn it. Damn it. No, it's not gonna. Um, Jim, I don't know about this one, Jim. Um, uh, what the hell was it not? Um, there's memes about Joe Burris. Oh my gosh. It's the meme of Kevin Hart. Hold on. Let's try one more thing. Um, man, I'm gonna keep you guys waiting, and I'm not even gonna be able to. Nope, can't find the. Is Drewski in the video? Wait, hold on. I sent it. Oh, hold on. Like he's laughing. It's Kevin Hart laughing, and then he like turns and he smacks. He's like smacking the chair next to him, and just the meme headliner says, "I'm butchering the joke. I'm butchering the freaking joke before we can even." Did I? Oh, maybe I. Oh, wait, maybe I sent it. Maybe I sent it. Let's see if it's. Because there's the nope, nope, nope. There's the meme of Robert Pattinson's character, like all the teams who thought they'd get LeBron during this free agency, and then it's like somebody get these beggars out of here. Damn it. Oh, I am so pissed that I don't have it. Is it this? Oh no. No, that's a World Cup edit. Um, no, yeah. So the meme headline is just like it shows Kevin Hart laughing and like Kai Cenat-Bomb and he's like laughing and like smacking the chair. Then it's like LeBron, LeBron after publicly like criticizing Jaylen Brown, only to go join like LeBron sticking up for his son, only to then go join the dude who said he was trash to go like compete for a ring. It's just kind of it's one of those just laughing memes of the I know for a fact. I know for a fact I have a video. Hold on, let me go pull it up. I have a video. I have a video. Let me go pull it up. I gotta scroll a ways though. This right here. No wait. No, what the hell are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going? All right, now shit. Now I gotta scroll through all of them all over again. Right, right there. This guy. Anyways, it's one of those kind of memes where they're just laughing. Anyways, I wish I should have liked it. I didn't like it, and it was on one of the NFL meme accounts, and that's what pisses me off. Is like they cross platform of like NFL. They'll sometimes make memes about basketball, and then they'll sometimes make memes. Yeah, it was somewhere. It was somewhere in the somewhere within the last week with the LeBron news, but I can't find it. Damn. Sorry. I've waited. I've spent too much time on it. But anyways. Oh well. Oh well. Full circle though. I don't think Curry's leaving the Warriors, and we'll see how LeBron does. Um. Here we go. Go MLB. Oh, looks like the Mariners walked it off. Alrighty. I think the All-Star week was like somewhere the other day. So the MLB is almost getting into it where they gotta figure things out. We already talked about Kane coming back to Chicago. College football. Anything going on with college football? Not really. Just the hype train. Just the hype train of Ultimate Championship preview. What's going on here? Oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? Whoa. Whoa, what the? Let's try this again, but on like a smaller. It's like way zoomed in. It's like super zoomed in. And I zoom out a little bit. Oh my. No, it's like way zoomed in. Is this like a game? Are they predicting Bama and whatever? I guess they're predicting Bama, Georgia in the national championship. I don't know if a Big Ten team is going to win it for the umpteenth year in a row. I also think because of the news on because there's been a lot of talk lately on is one of the SEC teams going to leave the NCAA, and like, but with how they've worded it in the ways of are they going to go alone? But because of how realignment and how teams have moved around, no, it's going to be something like Texas and Alabama are going to move together or something like that, and then that's going to start trickle and a ripple effect. Which, when looking at these, 100 games that explain college football and all that, like there's just parts of me like seeing some of these matchups, like Illinois, Michigan, Nebraska, Florida, Auburn, Alabama. Like we can't have our rivalry games anymore, which makes zero sense. But okay, sure, whatever. Like there's parts of me where you're playing 12 games. You could fit, honestly, realistically, what it should be is people talk about 3 non-conference games that start the season, and like there are some teams like Ohio State, which they'll be like, okay, yeah, we'll play Texas this year to open it off, but then we're gonna go play Ohio, and then we're gonna go play like Western Michigan or someone like that. I think what should happen is they should have 6 or 7 conference games. But then sometimes we might be in a unique situation like last year with the ACC championship, or we had a 5-way tie for first place, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? Second place, my bad. But did I say first place or second? Anyways, but then what should so you have your 5 or 6 conference games, just depending on the year and like scheduling. But then those other 6 or 7 games should be like they're already doing NBA bracket, like they're calling it, what are they calling it? Apron. They're calling it an apron or something. Where it's like, Miami, you have to schedule like you already got your Florida States and you already got your Florida games. So there's 2, which Florida State is an ACC, Florida is an out, and then okay, Miami and Clemson, big game. There's your other ACC, but it's like don't duck. Miami, try to schedule Oklahoma, try to schedule LSU, try to schedule what looks to be a top contender in like the Big 12. Go after BYU, go after Texas Tech, go after somebody, because it's like there are 6 other games on this schedule, and we saw it through the 2020 season where teams could cancel on a dime or just turn over and be like, okay, well, yeah, we'll go play this team. Have it be like that where, you know, you already have your conference games set up and ready to go. But then outside of that, yeah, have your Texas versus Michigan game. Have your Penn State versus what would be a good game between Penn State? Have your Penn State Auburn or Penn State Oregon. Well, Penn State Oregon would have been fun before, but not like now. Technically, they're both in the Big Ten, but like, yeah, don't shy away from having those Nebraska Florida games where it's like, you know what would be test a true team in the season. Go see if, because yeah, it's all cool and all that Georgia went and kicked Western Kentucky's ass like 50 something to nothing. Yeah, that's cool, but like now go have Georgia go play in the swamp week 4. And well, actually, they play their Jacksonville game, but have Georgia go play Florida State in Tallahassee, or is that where they play? I don't know. Or um Bama have Bama go to the shoe and go play Ohio State and vice versa. Like they do this home and home series, which like works, but it's like Michigan should be playing Notre Dame every year. The Trojans should be playing Notre Dame every year. Like Notre Dame, just because it's Notre Dame alone, Notre Dame should have no easy game on their schedule. And from what I mean by that is Notre Dame should be playing teams like Ohio State, like Michigan, USC. Who are some other? Let's look up some Notre Dame rivalries. Navy, Michigan State, sure. Stanford, yep. Clemson, just throw Clemson in there. I don't know. Oklahoma, it'd be fun to see Oklahoma play. Throw Oklahoma against like USC or someone like that. Like just have good matchups because you can do it, but they choose not to. So, anyways, guys, we've been yapping for over an hour. It's pretty late. It's pretty late. I might, but look what I got queued up and ready to go. La la la. So, we're gonna go do this real quick. We're gonna go play a couple rounds. Let me get this going. Woo. Get this going. Woo. So let's go. Actually, we can turn that off altogether. Let's go play a couple rounds. Because I just want to decompress and play some games. I didn't know I'd be yapping for over an hour. So, anyways, all right. See you guys in a second.
Scanning perimeter. Watching the horizon.